Aren't there people out there auditing .NET? From what perspective do you mean?
Well, I mean, like, you're suggesting that we do a binary audit of those libraries, but it's already being done, probably, right?
That's true, and I mean, you can definitely say auditing the libraries has already been done, and I completely trust Microsoft that using their libraries won't introduce vulnerabilities in my code that are not my fault. I mean, you could do that, but if you want to get even more secure, looking at your application is good, but there are levels deeper that you can look at, and you'll be able to find vulnerabilities that maybe you're not even necessarily responsible for. Yeah, Microsoft still laughs when I suggest they should do binary audits. We'll see who's laughing last. Yes? Okay. So binary auditing is sort of my baby. Even if I get source code to a specific thing that I'm auditing, I'll try to get the binary as well because of the things I've mentioned. However, Wireshark is a valid way to be able to say, okay, it's passing credentials in clear text, and even maybe figuring out how to craft packets in order to trigger the vulnerabilities. But I prefer, instead of guessing, to look at the code myself and see if that specific field has a vulnerability inside of it, just because I don't like being wrong when I guess. So eventually guessing too much sort of wears down on me when I'm wrong. Yeah, it is. Yeah, you'll definitely find vulnerabilities. However, if the code's been heavily audited and they have millions of dollars they're funding just to secure the code, you're going to tend to be a little bit less successful with that approach. But it's definitely valid, and I could have talked about all the different types of vulnerability audits that you guys could do and all the tools, but I wanted to keep people awake. Do we have any? Yes.
Backing up a level from binary audits, do you know of any good resources for issues to watch when converting from 32-bit to 64-bit programs?
So I don't know of anything off the top of my head, to tell you the truth. Binary audits will make it super easy. The other thing I could recommend, because I do prefer manual audits myself, as opposed to machines actually inspecting the code. So I could recommend possibly going through C99 and the updated spec in order to determine the different types of issues, and then auditing specifically for those types of code, lines of code. But that's the best I can recommend right now. Oh, so with binary audits, it's not necessarily all manual. For instance, I do use a program to actually translate the binary code into assembler. So I use IDA-Pro for that. There are other tools, but I like IDA-Pro, and I've become very accustomed to it, and it does pretty much everything I needed. On top of that, I've written custom binary analysis tools inside of Python, because that's something IDA-Pro also supports. And basically, I've implemented certain data flow and algorithms just to sort of cut down my time. They don't necessarily say, here's a vulnerability, but they allow me to answer questions that I might have about the binary a little bit quicker. Anyone else?